there, this is Gerald Bass with the Rise of the 1%, and in today's video I'm going to share with you how to revolutionize your sales approach and how to sell without the hard sell. Tired of the traditional pushy sales tactics that often turn your potential clients away? Well, it's time to revolutionize your approach and learn how to sell without the hard sell. Selling can be a challenging process, but it doesn't have to be. With the right approach, you can simplify your sales process, build strong relationships with potential clients, and close more deals without the pressure and frustration of the hard sell. Now let's get into what we're going to cover in this video today. In this video today, I'm going to cover how to build instant trust with your potential clients. I'm going to cover the types of questions you want to be asking on your calls, and I'm going to share with you the proper way to present your products and services in a way that is genuine and engaging. But before I get into the video, make sure you bang that like button, bang that subscribe button, as I'll be dropping a lot more free videos just like this. Now let's get into number one, how to build instant trust with your potential clients. The first thing you want to do is demonstrate that you are a human being. So you want to show up to the call as your true, authentic self. You don't want to show up to the call being robotic or seeming real salesy. You want to just show up as your true, authentic self. Another thing, when it comes to building rapport, a lot of times, a lot of people think of the traditional sales tactics from back in the 80s and the 90s, where you would show up to a call and you want to talk about the weather, or you want to talk about the game last night, things of that nature. In 2023, that is not what you really want to do when it comes to building trust. You can come on a call in the first 2 to 3 minutes or so. Yes, you can maybe ask them where they're calling from, if it's an inbound call or if it's an outbound, where they're located. You can spend a couple of minutes on that, and then you want to get into the call. If you went to the doctor and you had a broken arm, you don't want to walk into the doctor's office and the doctor's talking about the baseball game last night, right? You want your arm fixed. And so with that said, don't spend a whole lot of time with a lot of small chat, right? The next thing you want to do is you want to make sure the prospect is in a good place, right? What I mean by a good place, not a place where it's all noisy, background noise and things going on in the background. You want them to show up to the call with pen and pad, ready to take copious notes on the call as well, and make sure it's a good time for them as well. And the third thing you want to do is you want to set the agenda for the call. You want to show up to the call in a place of leadership, letting them know how the call is going to go. That's what you want to do when it comes to building instant trust with your potential clients. Now let's get into number two. The types of questions you want to be asking on your calls. You want your questions framed around these 9 outcomes. Number one, background questions. So you want to have questions that are centered around the current situation of your prospect. You want to thoroughly understand their current situation. Number two, you want to ask pain questions. You want to understand the biggest pains, problems, and frustrations. Without no pain, there's no sale. Number three, you want to have doubt questions. You want to have questions centered around why do they believe they cannot solve their problem on their own. That's what doubt questions are. Number four, you want to have solution-based questions. What's the desired outcome they're looking for? Number five, you want to have financial questions. Questions around, do they have the capacity to financially invest to get their problem solved? Number six, you want to have cost-based questions. Questions centered around what is it costing them to remain where they are. Number seven, you want to have vision-based questions. What is their long-term vision and what's their motivation for wanting to accomplish whatever their vision is in reference to their problem getting solved? And number eight, you want to have support questions. Questions centered around, do they need a partner or a spouse to help them with making a decision to get their problem solved? And then number nine, you want to have trust-based questions. Being that you can demonstrate to them that you can help them solve their problem, how committed are they to moving forward. You want to have questions around that as well. Now let's get into number 3. The proper way to present your products and services in a way that's genuine and engaging. The first thing you want to focus on is the transition. You want to acknowledge to the prospect that you hear them and understand them. This will allow you to transition into your pitch with zero sales resistance. Number 2, the pitch. You want to get your prospect clear on the end result they're going to get by purchasing your product or service. The next thing you want to do is you want to give your prospect a simple bridge on how your product or service is going to help them get from point A to point B. Help them get from their current situation to their desired situation, experience this transformation, get a result, and solve their problem. The third thing you want to do is you want to simply explain how your product or service is going to be delivered without getting into all the weeds and all the features and triggering a feature brain. Number 3, the close. You want to tie the prospect down in the process. You want to hear from the prospect that they are 100% certain that they believe your process and your product or service is going to help them solve their problem. The next thing you want to do is you want to give them what the next steps is going to be after they make the investment. You want them to be able to picture what's going to happen after they make the investment. You don't want to just tell them the investment. They don't necessarily know what's going to happen after that, right? They're going into it blindly. They need to know exactly what's going to happen after they make the investment. And then the next thing you want to do is simply state the investment. Number 4, objections. When you get any objections at the end of your call, the first thing you always want to do is get rid of uncertainty objections first. So what you want to do is you want to hear from your prospect that they're 100% certain that this is the right process that's going to help them solve their problem and the right time to help them solve their problem. If you don't get that, then it's uncertainty there. You have to address that. If you do hear that, then you've just removed uncertainty objections. Now, outside of uncertainty objections, then you do get a spouse or partner objection at the end of the call. Now, in most cases, you shouldn't get that objection at the end of the call if you handled that early in the call, which is I talked about early in this video. But let's just say you do get it at the end of the call. Then what you can do is you can see if they can get their spouse and partner on the call right then and there, right? So you can speak to both of them. Or what you can do is you can schedule another date for them to bring their spouse or partner on the call, 24 to 48 hours, and you can go for a deposit, see if they can put a deposit down, a refundable deposit, right? And they can bring their spouse or partner back on the call. Or what you can do is you can just book them into another call, right? Over the next 24 to 48 hours, they can just bring their spouse or partner to the call and you can speak to both of them in terms of the decision-making process, okay? Now, financial objections. Once again, if you went through the process thoroughly, like I shared earlier in this video, shouldn't really get many financial objections at the end of the call. But if you do, then what you have to do is you may have to dive a little bit more deeper into their financial situation in terms of where they are right now financially. Where are they going to be 30 days from now financially? And you can find out, for one, is it a smoke screen in terms of their finances, and they can really move forward with you by you diving into their finances to find out where they are financially, right? Or do you need to create something more customizable for them to go ahead and get started or purchase your product or service? That's what you can do in terms of financial objections. Then you pretty much have handled these different types of objections and they feel good about the process. They're ready to get going. You just want to button everything down and you want to close the deal. So in this video, we covered how to build instant trust with your potential clients. We covered the types of questions you should be asking on your calls. And I shared with you the proper way to present your products and services in a way that's genuine and engaging. If you got value out of this video, feel free to hit that like button, bang that subscribe button. I'll be dropping a lot more free videos just like this. And also, feel free to share this video around with anyone else you feel could benefit. And if you're a black coach, consultant, course creator, service provider, and you're looking to scale your business to $20,000 to $50,000 a month in under 60 days without paid ads, it's going to be a link to a free case study around this video. It's going to be a link to a free case study, actually be down in the description. you can click on that link and go over. You can take a look at the free case study. I dive a whole lot more deeper into a lot of the stuff that I shared on this video, and also how you can scale your business to that 20K to 50K plus a month mark and rise into the top 1%. With that said, this is Gerald Bass with the Rise of the 1%. Have a phenomenal day on purpose.